Hello, everyone, and welcome back to the Swinging Swordsman, where a bunch of people from around the United States and one gay Australian play Dungeons and Dragons. Sadly, we do not have our gay Australians, so it's just us. But yeah, welcome back to Fury of the Outlands. Yeah, okay. Last week was intense. But to give a bit of a recap as to what happened in the last couple of weeks or so, our party was investigating the disappearance of the bandlord of the Lions of the Sands, Avis Zandiri, the Red Lion, as he was kidnapped from his room and possibly shot in the middle of the night, and everyone was pointing at none other than his nephew, Arakion, mainly because of family trauma and issues. After a little bit of investigation, the party found a secret room hidden somewhere within Avis's stronghold that led to a discovery about a discovery that Avis was planning on trying to conquer the entirety of... Oh, hey. Yeah, okay, so, yeah, we're not going to be having our Australian. Moving on. Avis was planning on conquering the entirety of the Outlands to control for himself, and possibly in the name of the banished elder dragon Tiamat. Speaking of the Mother of Dragons, the party also discovered a little bit more information behind the history between the fight between Tiamat and Bahamut, in which there were other dragons of possible importance that aided both Tiamat and Bahamut. The ones that aided Tiamat, much like their leader, were banished to different planes of existence. However, the party did not to where nor who any of the dragons actually were. After a little bit more exploration, the party found a cavern in which they discovered not only that the changeling gunslinger Liza was back, but she was being aided by none other than the Spelltech Raider and the waste elf of the Lions, Zerith, who was in charge of weapons and various other Spelltech stuff. A fight ensued in which the result was Liza and Zerith dying, and the discovery that the Spelltech Raider was none other than Arakion's long presumed dead friend, Elwyn Murdoch. After a little bit of information, it was discovered that Elwyn's death was more or less at the hands of Avis, in which Arakion was pissed, eventually found his uncle and issued a challenge for the title of Bandlord. The next morning, the duel ensued. Arakion died, and then was brought back to life with the aid of his once friend, at the moment seemed frenemy, the drow cleric Cherise Boone. Avis was then eventually killed by Elwyn after the duel, in which Elwyn then took the title of Bandlord. Arakion, after dying and being brought back to life, became a bit of a changed person and seemed way more chill than everyone remembered him to be, but was thankful to see that their friend was alive. After a little bit, they all went to the tavern to have some drinks on whatnot, where they eventually met 3 of Bigby's cousins running the 3 kobolds in a trench coat trope, in which a family reunion with Bigby was had, as well as some information as to some of the rumors and the lies in kobold society. On the other side of the tavern, just kind of hanging outside, Icarus had a brief conversation with his brother/patron, in which a quest was given out, but honestly, that doesn't really matter at this point because Lou is not here. So, as of right now, Icarus is just kind of chilling outside of the tavern. You guys know this. You all watched Arakion, very inebriated, making his way out to go take a nap back at the Lion's Den. And the rest of you are still in the main and mighty tavern having a drink with Bigby's cousins, Rigby, Digby, and Mimsy. Where the fuck is the music? Come on. Hey, come on. Hey, to be fair, considering they're kobolds, it makes a ton of sense.
Yeah, fair.
At this point, after a variety of conversations had between Bigby and his cousins and just kind of celebrating the fact that Arakion's alive and Avis no longer rules the lions, at this point, I'd say it's about midday as everything kind of slowly starts to die down. Kind of going around the table, Bigby, how drunk would you say you are right now?
I don't. I'm a little lizard guy, dude. My tolerance is so low.
That's fair.
I'm pretty
that's
gone,
fair.
probably.
That's fair. Yuri, what about you?
Yuri, probably drank in moderation, so not that drunk.
All right, fair.
Yeah, he's a responsible one.
Well, I mean, of course, he's literally the dad of the party.
I always end up.
Oh, that's true. He's old enough to be one too.
More than that. Crystalina, I'm gonna say at this point, you're also kind of a part of this as well. How drunk would Crystalina be in this sort of celebration?
Wasted.
You really asking that?
Yes, I am.
Pretty sure you already know the answer to that, Daniel.
Yes, I do, but for the sake of immersion, answer the question.
Absolutely nothing. I didn't drink a drop. I'm the one that is sane so that no one else has to be.
Okay, so right now, Bigby, Rigby, Digby, Mimsy, and Rogue are all drunk.
Oh God, that's a whole lot of children to take care of.
It's 4 kobolds and a
I'm
halfling.
matured.
All right.
I'm all grown up for a kobold.
Yes, but you're still drunk. So
Yeah.
as time goes on, you see Digby just kind of look out and is like, "Oh shit! Is it really late already?"
I thought it was like so early.
Mimsy is just sitting there, just like, I am way too drunk to be doing anything more." Rigby just
I'm not.
very unbalancedly goes through their bag and starts passing out a few flasks in which Digby and Mimsy automatically take one and start chugging it. Rigby hands one to you, Bigby, and it's like, here, this'll cure the drunk.
I'm gonna sniff it. Does it smell like more alcohol?
Give me a. I want to say, give me a perception check with disadvantage here, because you are technically still drunk.
Yeah, that makes sense. 15.
15. It does not smell like alcohol. It smells weirdly like it smells like a mix of some variety of herbs and whatnot, but you don't smell any alcohol.
I'm just gonna assume Digby's being a lifesaver here and drink it all.
Yeah. Yeah, they pass one over to Rogue as well. Both of you down its contents. As soon as the liquid hits your systems, you automatically sober up and do not have a hangover for some bizarre fucking reason.
Oh, look at that.
Rogue is just sitting there, it's like,
What?
wow. That is the...
How did you do that?
Rigby is like, oh, they're potions of, looks at the tag. Lesser Restoration. We got them from that one alchemist chick from the Sisters of the Flame. Rogue is just looking at Rigby and is like, you got these from Talia? He's like, yeah, no, we've had... Yeah, no. A lot of the sort of potion supplies that the kobolds go through, sort of distribute, usually come from you. Her. I mean, she's like one of the best alchemists here in the Outlands. Rogue is just kind of sitting there, is like, yeah, no, that checks out. Now that I think about it, I was wondering why this tasted familiar.
So, how much are you paying for this hangover cure?
You see Digby looking at you is like, well, you're family, so you're fine. You don't have to worry about it. Just kind of looks at Rogue and is like, you, on the other hand, you owe us about 100 gold. She's just looking at these guys and is like, I'm a part of the Sisters, you jackass. Digby's just like, 125 gold. Mimsy's like, that's not how math works, stupid.
Nah, he almost had you.
Rogue just kind of sighs, kind of goes fishing and is like, oh shit. So I'm a little light, and Mimsy is just like, don't worry about it for right now. If you're with the Sisters, honestly, the last thing we need is Talia being pissed off we charged one of her clanmates. With that, Rigby kind of takes the flask back, puts him in his bag. It's like, well, that being said, we actually need to do some trading, actually. That's one of the reasons why we came out here. And now that, I guess, the Red Lion is gone, we don't really have to worry about the whole disguise, I guess. Just kind of leans over. It's like, you think most of these lions are going to still be okay with kobolds? Like, I know Avis was really weird about it for some reason, but...
Well, I mean, everyone's judgmental of us. You just kind of get used to it. Some aren't as bad as others.
You know what? That's fair. You know what? Just kind of turns to the other two. Let's ditch the disguise for now, and we'll just use it again if we have to. They're just kind of... you see them both kind of shrug, start grabbing the rest of their stuff, and it's like... and Rigby turns to you, Bigby, and goes, I hate to kind of cut this short, cuz, but well, people to trade with, places to be, and honestly, we said we'd be heading back to everyone else in maybe the next couple of days or whatnot.
Oh wait, we could go to the shops too, right? Bigby's just like looking back at the rest of the party, like, please.
Yeah.
Oh. Sweet. Yeah. Follow us then. You see the three kobolds just kind of making their ways across the tavern, out the door. You guys kind of following. You see Icarus just kind of chilling there on his horse, looks to you all, and is like, "Weren't you guys drunk?"
No, we didn't have a single drink. I'm sober actually, always.
Just kind of shrugs. Kind of shrugs and just casually follows the rest of you guys. But yeah, you guys make your way over to the markets area of Leona, which a lot like in Baron's Rest, you see most of the shops out here are kind of set out as more like stands in a bazaar more than anything else. But there are a lot more shops that have actual buildings than you would expect in Baron's Rest. But I'd say a good half to maybe 2/3 of the marketplace are just basically makeshift setup stands and whatnot. But yeah. Where would you guys like to go as you're shopping?
I think Bigby's just gonna stock up on potions, to be honest.
Okay, yeah. You make your way over to a section that is kind of more of a potion stand. Oh, we lost Wyra. And you see that another half orc is just kind of running, just kind of sees you kind of coming over and is like, hello there, little one. You're in the market for some potions?
Before I respond to that, out of character, have we been getting gold this entire time?
You guys haven't gotten any gold from this last current job yet. Mainly because part of it was contracted to Alessia, who's like on the other side of the Outlands, and the other part of it is kind of more contracted out through Onyx, which you have no idea. Which he's going to be coming to. He's going to be coming to Leona after the conversations Sharice had with Elwyn, but you don't know when. Did
we get anything before this entire arc? Because I don't think I've been adding it to my sheet. I have 5 gold pieces. I don't know how much you're supposed to have.
I don't think so. I mean, I know Bigby has a couple, if you want, in terms of gold, I don't think so, but there are also the couple of spell scrolls that you did get that you could trade to other people if you wanted to.
Oh, right. Okay.
Yeah, Bigby, you have the spell scroll of Hex and the spell scroll of Longstrider, which Arakion gave to you.
Mm-hmm.
Granted, you don't really know how much the spell scrolls are worth because magic's not really your forte. But I mean, oh yeah, and then you do have that one. You did also get a magical item when you were traversing another magical item when you were traversing through the caravans.
Is that the wound pleasure?
that's the wound closure one. Which again, you have no idea how much it's worth because you're just like, ooh, shiny thing in a chest, mine.
It's so true. Okay, I will say I'm indeed in the market, but I was mostly wondering what kind of wares I'd be able to get for this item, and I will show him the Scroll of Longstrider.
You see the half orc take the scroll, grabs a eyepiece of some sort and brings it to his face, which you can kind of see it eventually kind of gives some sort of a glint as he looks at it and is like, a spell scroll, huh? Well, the spell itself is not really all that powerful, so... But still, something like this isn't half bad. What were you in the market for, by the way?
I'm looking for any health potions you can offer.
I see. Well, for trading this one particular scroll, I could give you... I could give you just maybe one general, just one standard healing potion, if that would be all right with you.
Surely this great scroll, which I've found on my travels, is more valuable than a single potion. I mean, no offense to your own wares, but this isn't a common item that you find.
Give me a persuasion check.
I really need to not mess this up. 4.
4. The half orc looks to you and is like, I'm sorry, but that's about as best as I could do at the moment. As I said, compared to some other scrolls, this one isn't all that powerful, and I'd say, as I said, a fair 1-to-1 trade for a standard is more than a fair enough deal, I'd say. You can either take it or leave it.
I'm just gonna turn to Yuri, the closest adult figure, and go, do you think it's worth it?
Huh? Yuri, who definitely was paying attention, says...
Scroll for one basic potion.
Scroll for one basic potion? Wait, what level is this spell?
It's, well, you have no idea.
True.
Because magic, but,
Yeah, Yuri's like, to be honest, magic isn't really my thing. I would say, it's up to you, but I think go for it.
We're all too stupid to understand magic. No.
Oh my god, that's right. Most of you are. All right. Drop. So yeah, you can drop the Longstrider scroll, and you get a standard potion of healing.
Let's go.
Alrighty.
The half orc looks to you and is like, "Now, anything else I can get for you?"
That'll be all for me.
Looks to you, Yuri, and is like, "What about you, sir? Are you looking for anything in the alchemical potion variety?"
You know, I'm not in the market to be doing any trading at the moment, but appreciate the offer.
All right, fair enough. You all have a good one now.
You too.
So, Bigby has a single potion of healing as of now. Anything else you'd be kind of shopping around for, Bigby, at this point?
I don't think so. I think after that, I'm just following around all the other kobolds.
All right. Yuri, what about you?
Nah, I think he's good. I was just looking at his weapons, but I think he's alright.
All right. Yeah, you guys follow the rest of the kobolds around. You see them like kind of trading with a variety of other vendors. Mainly it's been a trade of materials more so than anything else. You see the kobolds pulling out a variety of some sort of like basic ores and whatnot, and passing them over to a smithy, who then kind of passes over some various ingots and whatnot. You see them making their way over to an armorer and passing out hides and whatnot for other materials. For the most part, they're kind of going for more general stuff than they are for anything exotic at this point. But you do see eventually they make their way over to one building, and that kind of like Doc Mondari's in Baron's Rest is kind of filled with a variety of various spell tech sort of knickknacks and whatnot, and you see them kind of trading with a goblin who is just kind of set up there, and you see them having a few words and whatnot. The kobolds trade out some materials and whatnot. The goblin gives them a variety of different spell tech knickknacks that you don't necessarily know what they do, and Bigby, you're kind of concerned. You feel like that your cousins don't entirely know what they do either. But yeah, for the most part, it seems like they're just kind of going around for sort of general stuff and whatnot, and not necessarily grabbing anything extravagant. But yeah, I'd say if there isn't anything else, spend like maybe a good hour or so in this whole situation before the kobolds kind of finish up and whatnot. Despite the fact that they traded a lot of stuff and got a lot of stuff, you see their bags don't really change much at all, which Bigby, you're not surprised with, because you're fairly certain your cousins also have bags of holding to kind of carry all the stuff, which most of the kobold tradesmen usually do carry them because they're too small because kobolds are too small to carry anything big.
Yeah.
But yeah, is there anything else anyone would like to do in the marketplace?
No, sir.
I'm all good.
Yeah. So yeah, after a little bit, you guys finish up and whatnot, and kind of on the way out, you see them kind of making their way towards one alleyway and whatnot, and sort of during this whole walk and whatnot, Mimsy kind of walks over to you, Bigby, and is like, "So Biggs, tell me, you actually serious about, the new bandlord actually being kind of chiller than what that original douchebag was?"
It's true. I saw it all happen in front of me.
Gotta say, it's a bit of a surprise. Though, I mean, granted, all of us back in the tunnels all kind of occasionally sworn Avis to kind of get shot and whatnot, but none of us actually think it would happen.
Yeah, I think it's really good news. I mean,
For us,
Arikion and I have been avoiding this place for so long. Maybe it'll get better now.
yeah, one can only hope. But no, I'm fairly certain the rest of the family will be more than glad to hear that. I know some of them were kind of in a bit of a scare, like when your old settlement was attacked. What was that? Year and a half, 2 years ago now?
Something like that.
Yeah, well, at the very least, we all can breathe a little bit better, but I don't know, it's still going to be a little bit weird.
Yeah, I'm sure everybody will get used to change, though.
Well, and you see at this point, Rigby kind of comes up and is like, well, I hate to be the bearer of bad news, but I think that's going to be it for us here. Like we kind of said before, we got to get some of the stuff back to the tunnels and whatnot. I think we got a trade going on with a couple of the other clans in the next month or so, but it's definitely been great seeing you, cuz.
It's so good seeing you guys, too. Surely we'll meet up again soon.
For sure, for sure. But, yeah, no, if you ever feel like coming back through the tunnels and seeing the rest of the family again, I'm sure everyone would be more than thrilled to see you.
I don't know, I feel like I have to wait to visit until my mission with my group is done. I don't want to leave them.
Nah, that's fair. But hey, don't be a stranger, at the very least.
Of course, never to you guys.
I mean, hey, if you ever want to hear, if you ever want to hear more gossip that's going on through the tunnels, shoot, you got the rest of the family to look out for, and I'm fairly certain you pretty much know every kobold tunnel from here to... And just kind of thinks for a second, is like, okay, not gonna lie, I don't remember the exact names of every place I go to, but you get the point.
Of course. And you know I do.
Just kind of gives you a pat on the side of the shoulder and is like, well, see you around, Biggs.
Have safe travel home.
With that, you see them all kind of make their way kind of through the alleyway, push a rock off kind of to the side, drop in with a hole of some sort that was kind of underneath it, pull the rock back, and the 3 kobolds have disappeared from Kaliona.
They'll be missed.
Rogue's just kind of standing there, is like, they were weird people, I will give you that, but honestly, I'm still more surprised that they got their hands on those fucking potions than anything else.
Many kobolds are very great barterers. I'm just a bad example.
You definitely are. Anyway,
Okay.
anyways, what? Just kind of looks around, it's like, shit, we kind of left Rakion, didn't we?
Is he still at the market or the tavern?
Oh god.
Icarus is kind of there off the side, just like, nah, he went back to the den. Don't know why, but
Well, maybe we should catch up with him.
Rogue kind of shrugs and it's like, yeah, nah, I definitely want to hear more about what Elwyn wants to do. I'm sorry. It just kind of looks to the both of you. It's like, no offense to Raytheon and the fact that he used to be friends with this guy, but does Elwyn give everyone else the creeps?
I didn't want to say anything when we first met him, because, but he did give me that vibe that he was, like, shifty.
I mean,
if it's a safe space, I don't want to Raytheon to know this, but he weirds me out. And worse than the horse.
Wow, that's saying something.
Yeah, just Nugget in the back, just kind of staring at you still. And Rogue is just like, yeah, no, like, don't get me wrong. I get that the guy's been dead for like 10, 15 years or so, and a lot of shit happened between him, Raytheon, and the rest of the lines and whatnot, but I don't know, something just about that just kind of does this general hand motion. Is like, something about that just doesn't seem right. I mean, I know it's not his fault, but and like I've seen spell tech augmentation on people before. I mean, shit, I've like some of the members of the sisters have like a few basic ones for like limb prosthetics and shit, but that's like some next level stuff that I've never seen before, and that's just kind of terrifying, if I'm being honest.
I mean, he might give us the creeps, but at the end of the day, I trust Erikion's judgment over my own, so if he thinks he's okay, then I'll believe it.
Right. And just kind of gotta add that to the list of kind of crazy fucking things that are going on out here. I still don't know whether I trust Onyx with the whole coalition shit.
Yeah, that guy, I feel like...
I don't think any of us do.
Yeah. I don't know if there's anything Onyx can do to earn our trust. That guy is just like... Yeah, I'm not fucking with him.
I feel like we're just kind of using the deal with him as a means to an end, but we don't know what the end is yet.
Yeah.
That's true. There's another thing that was kind of weird that I will say is when we were in the cavern, or not the cavern, but when we all saw that sort of stone tapestry with, Bahamut, Tiamat, the dragons that were aligned with them and whatnot. That, I mean, don't get me wrong. I've heard that story probably as much as anyone else out here in the Outlands, but I don't remember hearing anything about any dragons specifically aligning with Tiamat or Bahamut. Do you guys?
I'm not sure.
Yeah, I'm not familiar
either. I don't know. Maybe I can have... see, that's gonna get tricky because don't really have many who would be sort of knowledgeable about that sort of history thing. We'd have to contact someone from maybe Checkpoint. But even then, I don't trust anyone from Tyrus as much as I trust Onyx. Anyway, I guess we should probably, see what Raikion's up to right now and head back to the den.
Sounds good.
agree.
With that, you guys make your way through the marketplace, through Kaliana, back to the Lion's Den. At this point, I'd say it's about early evening. You see Elwyn and Charisse kind of in mid-conversation in the hallway. You see a variety of soldiers kind of making their way around on their rounds and whatnot. Charisse automatically sees you guys and is like, "Oh, hey. I was wondering when you guys would show back up. Raikion's been asleep for hours now."
Oh,
Is he okay?
I mean, he was drunk. Does that count?
Oh, right. I kind of forgot about that.
can your guy handle this shit, Arakian?
Well, I mean, it looked like he was drinking a lot.
Well,
Is there any way we can help him? We don't have any more of the potions.
oh, you're
It- Just Charisse is like, but you guys also had potions? I'm sorry, I'm lost. What the hell were you guys doing for this entire day?
There were 3 kobolds inside this giant trench coat. And
This, you see at this, after hearing that, Charisse just kind of sighs and it's like, "Oh, first light. Which 3 was it this time?"
Is it always 3?
Unfortunately, but it's never the same 3. Kobolds have been very smart to make sure that the same trader group doesn't show up more than once a week, maybe every 2 weeks.
Damn right, they're smart. Well, I met up with Rigby, Digby, and Mimsy.
Just kind of thinks for a second, it's like, I don't think I've met those 3.
Makes sense if they have a system.
Yeah, well, unfortunately, whenever kobolds did end up popping up in Kaliona, either me or Nightclub were the ones that were trying to handle most of it, and we both agreed not to let Robert or Avis hear anything about them and try to keep it down more than anything else. Though, like I said, I don't remember. I don't think I've met those 3 in particular. Are they new to the to the trader routes, or?
I don't think they are.
Well, maybe they just never. Maybe their route just never went through Kaliona. Anyway, that doesn't matter 100%. So I told Arakion this, though I'm fairly certain he's going to forget it when he wakes up because of hangover. But I got a hold of Onyx, and he's going to be showing up sometime later tomorrow for negotiations.
oh shit, here?
Yeah, apparently he wasn't that far away and whatnot. So he's making it as high, making it here as quick as he can and whatnot, though whether or not the actual negotiations start when he arrives, that's honestly more up to him than anything else. But at that point, you guys can discuss the sort of events that you kind of want to happen next. I know that you and your group need to make your way back to Crescent Hollow to let the bandlord there know that the whole Spelltech Raider thing is over for the most part. Elwyn is just like, yeah, I should probably send an apology. Charisse is like, if you send an apology, she's going to kill you. Wouldn't be the first time I've almost gotten killed. Sharice just kind of sighs and it's like, anyway, after that, there's also that halfling that Elwyn was with. I don't know where she is or whatnot, but according to Zeracriel, you guys met her in Graveswell?
That sounds right.
I think so.
Well, if we're lucky, she's still there. If we're not, well, she'll find her way here, or to you guys, whatever happens. This kind of looks to you, Bigby, as like, I know this is a little off topic, but along with being good tradesmen, I know your kind is also known for gossip. Did the 3 kobolds you were with mention anything that might have been of interest?
I'm trying to remember from last week, and I don't think they did they?
They did mention a variety of things. One of the things they did mention was that one of the things they mentioned was that one of the tunnel groups led by a kobold tried to make their way to try to create a kobold tunnel back to the nation of Tyrus. They talked a little bit about the marked, and how a alchemist and like there was one story about how an alchemist woman who was marked tried to make her way back to Tyrus, but eventually kept on getting sent back through the Outlands and whatnot. But
oh right, because they were trying to. I remember this.
Yeah. But whether or not you want to share that with Sharice is entirely up to you.
Well, I'll say there's some scuffle about progress in kobold tunnels, but nothing groundbreaking.
I see. Well, with that said, well, considering that we don't have to deal with Avis anymore, I guess there's still a lot of things here that needs to be done, but I guess at this point, you and your group are pretty much set for the time being, aren't you?
I think so. We need to make sure Urican's not hungover for tomorrow, though.
Elwyn kind of steps up at this point and is like, you guys are more than accepted to stay for the negotiations between the Lions and the Coalition if you would like. I mean, I know I'm not going to say no. You guys have kind of helped me out this far.
Yeah, I think we should stay for it. I appreciate the offer, the invite.
And then just kind of nods and it's like, and then kind of looks at Sharice and it's like, they do have a point though, is there? And Sharice is like, I know a spell that I can use to make sure that he's not hungover. Not sure about a hangover potion. I really haven't heard anything about that, but then again, I'm not an alchemist of any sort.
Oh, it was just like lesser restoration, if you have any.
Just kind of looks at you and is like, you had potions of lesser restoration that stopped you from... just kind of looks in a bit bizarre, and I was like, I had no idea that could be done. Well, I mean, like I said, I'm not...
Kobolds are pretty smart.
Apparently, and like I said, I'm not really much of an alchemist, so I wouldn't necessarily know or not if anything like that's possible, but you can see she's like really trying to think about how this would work and just eventually gives up and it's like, anyway, yeah, you guys are more than willing to kind of stay for the time being. You can have the same room you had before. I think we finished rebuilding the hole in the wall left by your friend's horse. Ellen is like, yeah, how did you guys get that?
Beats me.
Icarus just kind of shrugs and is like, he's my horse. Ellen's just like, okay. Also, and just kind of looks to Shariska and is like, remind me to have a conversation with a few other members of our spell tech users to see if anything can be done about maybe downgrading this. Just kind of gestures to his whole self, and Sharice's like, are you sure you want to do that, Elwyn? I mean, that's a lot of high-tech hardware for you to have. That would make you pretty powerful. And Elwyn's like, I don't need to be powerful with spell tech to be powerful as a clan leader. And it still kind of gives me the creeps. Not to mention it's very bulky. Sharice's like, all right, I'll see what can be done. Though I think a good chunk of our spell tech users are gone at this point. Once everyone heard that Xerath was dead, a lot of his followers kind of vanished as well. Elwyn just kind of shrugs at that point, is like, get who you can, and we'll talk more about it in the morning. Turns back to you guys and is like, in the meantime, I'm fairly certain you and the rest of your party are exhausted.
Yeah, I could use a rest.
Don't let us stop you. Gods know I need a rest. And just kind of him and Cherise kind of both bid you goodnight at that point. Leaving you to the rest of your devices for the time being. Is there anything that you guys would like to do before you all go to bed?
I don't think so.
No, sir.
Yuri? All right. Yeah, you guys make your way over to your room. Orakion is still straight up asleep. With no real indication of being able to be disturbed. And you guys start to finally take a long rest. And with that, I'm going to roll something here. Yuri, odds or evens?
I say evens.
Oh.
What was that?
Evens. Even Stevens.
Okay. Bigby.
No.
You start to fall asleep next to Rakion, happy that he's alive, for one. You close your eyes, and as you fall asleep and begin to dream, you open your eyes again to not the room that you're in, but you're in some sort of forest of some kind. You can't really tell where. The hues kind of surrounding you shift between black, between green, between blue and whatnot. The forest itself occasionally being a mix of vibrantly alive to being fairly dead to being somewhere in the middle of autumn and whatnot. You look at your surroundings. You do not see a Rakion. You do not see your party anywhere. You are alone. But you do hear the sounds very sort of off in the distance, but you hear the sounds of movement of some kind. But at this point, you can't quite discern what it is.
I will start slowly approaching the movement.
You make your way through the area, trying to get yourself closer to the movement itself. Go ahead and give me a perception check.
Ooh, okay. 14.
14. Whatever it is that you were hearing, it is big. That much you can ascertain for certain. And the closer you get to whatever this thing is, the quicker the shifts between the forest around you seem to be, until you take the last step and suddenly the forest itself is gone. The surrounding itself is just straight up dark with wisps of some sort of grayish fog. And you hear the sounds of something big letting out a large growl. And suddenly, not directly in front of you, but at what seems to be at a good distance, you see a pair of eyes glowing. This sort of vibrant green looking directly at you. And at first, it seems like it's a little bit higher than your eye level. The fact that you are a kobold, making you very short. But the eyes themselves eventually start to rise further above to the point where whatever this figure is towering over you. And as it does, you hear a voice. Somewhat feminine, but in a sort of deep-esque sort of tone. So, someone has come to find me.
Who's finding you?
Looks to you and is like, many have tried to find me before, but none have come close to where you are now, little one.
Should I be finding you?
That depends. Tell me, little one. What is it that you truly wish to achieve among all else?
I want to prove that I'm able to help people.
I see. And how is it you wish to prove this? And as the figure says this, swirl of magic sort of spirals around you. The eyes of the figure itself, you can still see towering above you, even through whatever this veil of magic is. And around you, you can see silhouetted images. You see as the figure continues. Do you wish to channel your desires through means of strength and prowess? And you see a silhouette of a small figure, kobold, wielding a mix of swords and bare hands off against a torrent of enemies, and almost as quickly as you see this shadowed image, it vanishes in this swirl. The figure continues. Or perhaps are you someone who wishes to dabble in the arcane? You see another shadowed image appears, this one still of a kobold, but you see crackles of magical energy, of lightning, of fire, of ice, being cast amongst a variety of beasts below. And sort of like the same thing, the image vanishes.
I don't care about brute strength or magic. I mean, I don't mind however or what it takes for me to do it. I want to prove that I'm important to the people that I care about. And honestly, your visions are weird. They're creepy and weird, and I don't know what you're trying to offer me or make a deal with me about, but I'm not messing with it.
You see, the swirl itself begins to dissipate. The figure itself still kind of looming over you, eventually kind of begins to lower itself. And within the area, you see a shadowed silhouette of a humanoid figure. You can't entirely ascertain exact details, but you can tell that the figure itself is possibly more draconic in nature as it goes. I understand your concerns, little one, but I assure you, what I offer can help you attain those in which you desire. For in your own blood lies a variety of strengths that you yourself can achieve in a variety of ways. I can help unlock these abilities if that is what you choose.
I know that I'm capable and I can. This is nothing I need to learn on my own. I mean, I don't even know who or what you are. And Bigby's just kind of like gesturing up and down at the great beast in front of him.
I am a figure erased from time, erased from nobility. I am
So is-
someone. I am someone who once was seen at the top of our kin and felled, banished unjustifiably.
So that's what you want from me, is help getting justice for whatever happened to you?
If it is within the if it is within the lines of the fates that is set out in front of you, anyone who makes a deal of any sort knows that nothing comes for free, and what I ask would mainly just be simple favors to put me one step closer to being free of the shackles that were cast upon me.
Listen, I hate to say this, but I don't think I can help you right now. I'm kind of dealing with a lot of other things, and your deal is sounding really. I'm just not too sure about it for me.
It is wise to be uncertain when events don't necessarily unfold the way you expect, and for that, I do not hold any grievance towards you for it. But now that the line between us has been set, and you have crossed in some way into this plane that I am trapped in, I feel there will be moments where we see each other again. And when the time is right, and when you ask and wish to set the deal, I will be waiting.
I promise to you that I really will consider it.
You feel as if the figure is about to say something else, but you're being pulled away from them in a vision of increasing light to the point of where it blinds you. And then you wake up.
Dude, Am I having Bahamut dreams again?
Not Bahamut, I will say that. But now it's Yuri's turn.
Okay, good.
Yuri.
Oh God.
Wait, before you begin, I'm so sorry. I am gonna have to go because I have to get up early tomorrow. But good luck with your dream sequence, man.
Thanks. See you.
All right.
Bye. Have a good night, y'all.
Bye. Have a good one, Russ. Yuri. You once again are having the sort of dreams of flashing visions of combat between this masculine figure with the axe and this feminine figure with fists of flame. They come in various flashes, but you hear most of the encounter itself more than you see it, as your eyesight itself is clouded in this dream. After the sounds of metal clashing against a variety of metal, of wood, of stone, once again you hear the feminine voice go, "Why do you keep fighting?" The masculine one itself goes, "Because I owe it to my family to return to them once more." You hear the sound of metal scraping upon stone as if something's being picked up. The feminine voice itself goes, "We've both been at this for who knows how long. You know you can't win." The masculine voice itself goes, "I know. But with every fight, I learned something new." Once again, the sound of combat continues. Flashes of a blazing axe striking across a quarterstaff. You see a fists of flame impacting with a silhouette of a man. The fighting itself continues, and you yourself are observing what you can in this instance. Not necessarily getting the full picture, but not necessarily getting entire vague aspects of what is going on.
Can I just like try to shout as loud as I can?
What do you shout?
Stop!
You shout this to the silhouetted scene in front of you that occasionally flashes. Give me one sec. Roll me going to say roll me a straight charisma check.
Natural 20.
God damn. You shout stop with all of your voice, with all of your heart, with all of your soul. And in that moment, the scene itself before you begins to become visible. You see you are in a courtyard. The stone itself tiled in dark purple, in maroon, and in magma orange, and in some parts actual magma underneath it, illuminating the area. You, for the first time, get to see who these actual figures are. The woman is someone who looks to be about mid to late 20s, with sort of mid-length red hair. She, dressed in sort of simple, almost robe-esque like attire. Her fists engulfed in flames. The male figure is someone you thought you would not have seen in this life, and maybe even ever. Albeit somewhat older than what you last remember seeing him at, but wielding a great axe that looks to be made of stone cooled from magma, volcanic design in itself, with crackles of dark ember scattered throughout the design itself. And for the first time in what seems like forever, you see your father. I'd say your father is about maybe 15 to 20 feet away from you, whereas the woman is about maybe 10 feet away from you on your opposite side. As you're looking at both of them, you can see that they are both worn out. You can see they both have a variety of various different cuts, bruises. You can see your father's armor is scorched in several places. You can see the woman's robes are slashed in a few as well. But as of right now, both of them are looking at each other as if they're trying to catch their breaths in pause before beginning to fight again.
Yuri just runs straight towards his dad.
You run towards your father to reach out to him, to hold him, to embrace him. But as soon as you come into contact, you pass right through him. But in that moment, you see Dimitri look up, turn, as he goes, "Did you hear something?" the woman herself tilts her head and is like, Dimitri, there's no one else out here except for us. Your father turns to the woman and goes, I swear, I heard someone. It could have just been it just could have been whatever else is bleeding in from a plane of fire. The woman, once it extinguishes the flames from her fists, leans her back as if to crack it, and actually you hear a small amount of popping, looks back to him and goes, You gotta give up, Dimitri. I can't keep doing this to you. You see your father look to her and go, I know. But there is at least one trick that I've picked up since we last had our little spat. And you see, as he says this, he takes his axe across his arm and pulls it across. You see, you look at him in slight shock, in almost horror, as does the woman, and as she goes, Dimitri, what the hell was that? And as that happens, you see the axe itself begin to ignite, not in fire, but in lightning. As the woman looks in surprise and is like, well, I wasn't expecting that. Dimitri just kind of smiles and is like, there are many other people out in the Maze of Embers, Dawn. I just happen to have learned another trick or two from them. And in that, he charges at her once more. And as he does, you feel the vision itself begin to fade.
I think in vain tries one last time and reach his hand out. I think Yuri saw him. He's just repeating dad over and over again. In that moment, I think Yuri is feeling like a kid.
Give me a straight wisdom check. 17. You reach out this one last time towards your father in an effort to try and connect to him. And in that moment, you feel something. A bond of some sort. And in that moment, you feel as if the strength of your father begins to surge through you as the vision gets pulled out. And this newfound skill that your father has acquired, which in itself seems at first surprised you, if not maybe slightly terrified you, in the fact that Your father had to deal some form of damage to himself, but as you get this surge, as you connect with your father, you feel the surge of power that comes within it. The strength that not only comes from the power itself, but comes from your father. And at this point, you have a choice. You can choose to embrace this moment of shared power to see where it leads for you. Or you can try and resist, or not resist, but to cut off the connection between you and your father in this moment. What do you do?
I think the idea is that Yuri, he's just been feeling so alone, man, and he hasn't seen hide and fear of his father, and he, just never knew him and would cling to whatever he could get of his dad. So I think Yuri accepts it.
You accept the strength and this brief connection of power that your father has acquired. And in it, you feel a surge of skill, of knowledge to come that starts to flow into you. And in that moment, you feel as if as your father is charging, he stops and turns to what looks like almost to you. And as you're pulling out, you hear your father's voice echo, "Yuri?" And you wake up. Yuri Volkanov. In this moment, I want you to take a level into Blood Hunter, increasing either your wisdom or your intelligence to 13. Whatever you choose, whatever ability score you choose to increase in this moment will also be the stat that you use for your Hemocraft modifier and your Hemocraft DC. The choice in itself is yours.
Holy shit.
Okay. Surprise, sucker!
Holy fuck. That's crazy.
That being said, I think that is a good place to leave today's episode.
I agree. That's amazing.
Thank you for playing, and thank everyone else for watching. It's been not where I thought it was going to go, but you know what? I enjoyed it nonetheless. We will see you guys next week. Have a good one.
If anyone live stream.